want to tell you about an amazing experience I had. It's a miracle experience, and it's one which will really increase your faith. It happened many years ago when I was about 29. My wife had died after childbirth, and I was very, very sad. And about 2 weeks prior to this miraculous experience, I had actually been baptised and immersed under water. And I was sitting on my own in my living room, and I was really in the pits. I was very, very downhearted after losing my wife, naturally, and I was wondering what to do. And I picked up a little book about Jesus, which had been written in the 1930s, and the person who wrote it, as I remember rightly, had prayed that whoever read this little book would see and find Jesus. Anyway, I think God, and I feel God honoured my act of faith in picking up the little book to read, and I was filled with this incredible tingling feeling. It was like the living waters, or a pleasant electrical feeling surging up and down my body, and it just continued. It was so amazing. And later I actually read about a lady who had a very similar experience. And anyway, I was enjoying this experience, and suddenly somebody rang the bell in my nursery, and so I had to reluctantly get up and walk out to the nursery. And as I went out, I felt I was very light and a floating sort of feeling. I can assure you, I hadn't taken anything. And anyway, I walked out through the shade house, which it was quite dark inside, and I could see a faint blue-white light coming off my right leg. But when I approached these people in the nursery, I didn't even know. I had this incredibly powerful euphoric love, perhaps you could describe it, towards them. And I realised that that was God's unconditional love. I was so high, and it's perhaps the best high I've ever experienced. And I had to actually pray under my breath to the Lord to help me to come down. And sure enough, all of a sudden I was old me again. I was able to sell plants. But after this experience, it gave me the hope and the faith and the spark of courage to continue on with my life, because it was an extremely depressing and sad experience of losing my wife. But anyway, it gave me, God had realised, and perhaps in sympathy and his love that he has for not only me but the whole human race, with his unconditional love, and through his sympathy he realised I needed help, and so he touched me miraculously. It was really a miracle. And I had this great desire to tell the world about it. And so I went out and I studied all I could. I went to the church, and I studied all I could about healing, and I prayed over people with great success. And I continued on with my life, but I reflected back through my life of how many times God had actually saved me from close encounters with losing my life, and not through anything that I had created myself, but situations such as car accidents where I was only a passenger and so forth. And so I eventually decided that I should really write a book, because these experiences were really a miracle, and I felt that by telling the world it would increase their faith, and I'm sure that telling you this will help to increase your faith. Thank you.